Hello everyone, welcome back to the Purple Broom Apothecary. I am Natalie and I am here today to do the Saturday Sling. As promised, this is a new series that I'm doing by request in which I choose a deck from my quickly growing but still rather small repertoire of decks that I own, rather Oracle or Tarot, and I draw a card and I give my interpretation of the meaning of that card and what it means for us in the week going forward. Today I am using a deck that I absolutely love. It's called Mystic Dreamers Tarot. It is by Barbara Moore and Heidi DeRoss. These cards, I really like the imagery on them. I have a feeling they're probably computer generated, but there are a couple of things about the deck that I love, 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 love this deck, but there are a couple of things that I on occasion find distracting. I don't know if you can see, this card's not a really good example of it, but right here in the corner, there's like this tornado looking thing. And there have been a couple of times, it looks better on this one, you can see more what I mean by that. Right here, to me, this almost looks like a tornado in the background, and I've actually interpreted that way before. So, although really, if you look, you'll see the same thing down here. I think that's just part of the trimming of it. I do not trim my decks. A lot of people do, where they cut off this outer border of the card. I have never done that with a deck. If I had like a super huge deck that it really bothered me, I might try that. I have edged my decks before. I did that with my Deborah Blake deck, the Everyday Witch, where I edged the cards in gold trim just because I thought it kind of looked cool and I wanted to give it a try, and the gold looked nice on it. Didn't make a pretty job of it, but that's okay. It was my first time. I didn't realize that you had to do each card individually. Who has time for that? I don't. So this is an unedged, untrimmed deck, but what I'm going to do with this deck was gifted to me by Amy Webster. Some of you may be familiar with her. She left our community for a time, but I understand that she's making a bit of a comeback to the community. She was what I consider to be a gifted reader. She was actually very knowledgeable about the cards and had an in-depth understanding of tarot, and then she sort of took off and did something different for a while, but I think she's making a return. That seems to be a trend lately. You know, a lot of people are talking about Doreen Virtue and her conversion to Christianity, and it was always my opinion that Doreen Virtue was Christian anyway. I always felt like she was bent that way, which is one of the reasons why I kind of avoided her work. I don't own any of her decks, don't care to own any of her decks, never read any of her books. She just did not appeal to me because of that, and so I just never bothered with her. But there have been a couple of other people lately who have left, and I talked about that in the video I did on Monday or Tuesday. I'm not going to go back into that, but you know, hopefully these people who are so gifted at the cards will make their way back. But in any case, I like to shuffle up my cards quite a bit. I'm just going to do a one card sling of the cards, and our card for the day is the Page of Pentacles. Now, in this deck, I really like this card, and I get a very different reading from this card in this deck than I do a lot of others. Pages, as many of you may be familiar, often deal or relate to children who are 18 or under. Pentacles are earth signs. So it could be that you may be receiving a message, or there may be a child that's very creative in your life, that is very resourceful, has good ideas that you can draw inspiration from. Another thing that these cards, pages, tend to be message bearers, so you may be getting some news. In this case, I believe that there may be some good news coming in terms of a financial opportunity or growth. Maybe there's something you've been cultivating for a time and it's been kind of riding around in your mind, or something you've been working on in the background that you just haven't been putting a lot of focus on. And I think that this card bespeaks to that ability. Another thing I draw from this card is that you want to make sure that you're not ignoring messages. A lot of times we tend to not pay as much attention to the younger set or to ideas that they may have that may actually be very, very good. It could also not necessarily be a child under the age of 18, but just someone in general who is saying, yeah, you should make, you should do that and make money off it. We kind of, yeah, it's a hobby, but listen to what they have to say. Don't ignore that nagging feeling in your mind that tells you, boy, this really means something to me. I wonder if I could do something with this. Another thing that this card tells me is that your opportunity for growth, I'm trying to get the card where you can see it. You can see that there's the little rose sprouting up out of the pentacle. This card tells me that, much like children, we are often full of unrealized potential. Okay, that we have those things for success within us. And again, I'm going to try to get a little closer so you can see this card a little bit better, because right here is a butterfly. That to me is extremely significant, because butterflies are very, very significant to transformation and change. When I am doing any kind of transformational work, a transforming spell, I will try to use the images of a butterfly. If I've found a butterfly that has passed, I may use it directly in the spell, because they are very transformative in nature, in terms of changing from something that may not be quite what you want it to be into something quite beautiful. And this could also not just relate to resources, which the suit of pentacles often relates to our resources, physical resources, not like, so you could include education, but education I tend to relate more toward the suit of wands, which are like your talents and your education and so forth. But pentacles could be like investing in your education and making that a resource. Items you have around your home, your skills and your abilities that you have financially to make you a secure and happy person. And so I think that this card is telling you that if you can adhere to those messages that you get, and not just pass off some idea as a, oh, that's, oh, that's a fluke, or, oh, that's nothing. You can really hold the power to transform your life into something that will make you singularly happy, beautiful from the inside out, and really can give you what you ultimately need, both spiritually as well as financially and physically. So this card to me speaks of untapped potential and growth for you as a person. So look deep inside and see if what you're doing really makes you happy. And if it doesn't, start moving towards something that does, and don't listen to the naysayers. Listen to those people that encourage you and tell you you have what it takes to change your own life. You have what it takes to succeed and to grow and to make your life something beautiful and rich to you. So that's your Saturday Sling. Thank you so much. Again, it's the Mystic Dreamers Tarot. One of the things I like about the deck is it looks the same upside down as backwards. For some reason, it just irritates me when it's not like that, even though I don't read reversals. It is by Barbara Moore and Heidi DeRoss. So if you like that deck, get out there, find it, and start reading it. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful Saturday.